Hello there, welcome to Critical Reviews. Today I'm going to be taking a look at In a Violent Nature. It's refreshing to actually get to review a movie that is actually, undeniably, categorically awful. I am no stranger to bad horror movies. I have trawled the depths of Amazon Prime Video and Shudder in the search of B-movie gory schlock, independent movies about killer giant rabbits, a movie about murderous llamas, even one about a homicidal armchair. I've even seen a film that was filmed on an iPhone, with the rest being stock footage. You think you've seen some bad movies?
You have not seen what I have seen.
But I'm not sure that I have ever seen anything quite as worthless as In a Violent Nature. Seriously. The most exciting thing about it was a typo. And this is a Shudder film, but the only thing that would make me shudder is if I had to watch it again. So, let's get into this. Mentally disabled kid, killed by bullies, is resurrected as a hulking brute and walks through some very pretty woodland, occasionally bumping off some hapless teens, acted to varying degrees of mediocrity by decidedly non-teen actors. His quarry is a locket that one of them picked up, but honestly that's pretty tangential to whatever passes for a plot. And honestly, sometimes that can be enough. We're not talking about high art here. We know what we're in for with a slasher film. This isn't Schindler's List. But this is so dull. It's presented largely from the killer, Johnny's, perspective, and most of it is a mid-range shot from behind until he dons an antique firefighting mask. He's trudging through some admittedly picturesque Canadian forests. It's shot competently enough, and the cinematography is okay, but exciting and suspenseful. This is not. The killer is silent throughout the entire movie, giving you nothing except the fact that he has a hilariously heavy tread. It's not helped by the bizarre decision to have no score for the film at all. The score for horror films is essential at building atmosphere, tension, suspense. Bereft of this, the film is soulless. Was it an artistic decision to allow the viewer to focus upon the scenery? If so, it was a bad one. There is practically nothing to hold the attention here. The dialogue or scant character development of the fodder that inhabits the film does nothing to inform the viewer of, well, anything. This film is like minus investment. I'm not even sure that I remember anybody's names or faces. The kills at least are worth it, right? It's a slasher film after all. That's why we're watching, for the gore and the brutality. One decent and admittedly inventive and brutal kill. And even that is far less impactful and shocking than it should be, due to the acting of the victim. The film doesn't hold back on the gore and violence, as the title suggests, but it's all presented in the worst possible way, with Johnny giving the air of boredom more than anything else. Absolutely everything is ponderous and slow. Watching victims get butchered like this should not be boring. The editing injects no pace or excitement. It's 90% filmed during the bright daylight. You don't care about anything or anyone. There's the loosest semblance of a backstory for our murder machine, which is told, of course, via a campfire story, and the final section of the film has our final teen in a car for about 10 minutes with some insane monologue from a stranger before, well, it just ends mercifully. There was one other scene, other than that one kill, that I thought offered something. One of the teens throws away their car keys in an argument, and Johnny picks them up and plays with the toy car for a moment. It's the one moment in the film that we get to see his face, and just for a second there is something there as he recalls his former life and plays with this car, this memento of a previous existence. Sadly, the car is swiftly crushed in a meaty fist, and my hopes for anything of substance in this film were crushed with it. In a Violent Nature is an abysmal, awful, boring, meaningless slog of a movie, devoid of interest, suspense, story, characters, or any reason to watch it at all. When even the kills in a slasher movie are boring, pedestrian and dull, then you know the movie fucked up. I cannot recommend this film in any way at all. Perhaps a supercut of the parts of the film where something happens with an AI generated score might be of some worth, but then it would also be about 11 minutes long. You'll be the one of a violent nature if you waste any more time than that on it. This is going to take some beating for worst film of the year. Absolute shit. Thanks for listening. I've been Critic. I'll be back with another movie review soon.